gonna go over some products that I use and like. Some of them I mentioned previously, and we're just gonna kind of show all those. So what I give year-round to my breeding girls is Be Strong. This is a B vitamin supplement. Supports reproductive and cardiovascular health. They have it in liquid and powder variety, depending on which one works best for you, but it helps regulate heat cycles, and it's also been shown to help reduce the incidence of pyometra, so that's nice and never hurts to kind of be careful of. This one, and some of these come in big giant containers. They also come in smaller ones. I buy the big ones. As the name suggests, this is for in between heat cycles and breedings. Just kind of helps fill in any of those gaps for vitamins and different nutrients that girls need and deplete when they're breeding. So once they go into heat, I switch them to the Oxymate, and this one is throughout the whole pregnancy, so it's just a normal prenatal vitamin like you would imagine. And I stop giving them this one once they have the puppies. This one, however, the breed to wean, you can give this from when they're bred all the way through when they wean their puppies. So this is more like a 3-month kind of ordeal. Again, just another one of those vitamins that helps fill in any gaps. These do all include, at least the specific breeding ones, include folic acid, but I do like to give extra, and this is just a human grade folic acid. You can get them on Amazon or at the grocery store or whatever. Folic acid is super important and is huge in decreasing any midline defects and cleft palates, so decreases that chance up to 78%, which is great. And it's really hard to overdo it, so you don't really have to worry about that, but for one capsule, I usually give them about 1/3 of the powder in there. And this I do give pretty much as soon as I decide I'm going to breed that girl, whether that be, say, within the year, probably usually around that timeline. I started giving it to them then, just so they have a good storage of it in their body, and then I give it to them all the way throughout the pregnancy. So some of the things that I'm not going to show you here, but that you will need for whelping, is lots of towels or rags, preferably light in color, so you can see if something's wrong during the delivery. If you see a lot of green or something like that, you know that it might be time for a medical intervention. A warming box, which is just a smaller box outside of the whelping box with a heat source in it that you can place the puppies in when the mom's delivering the next one. Sometimes the moms are getting up, they're turning around, they're kind of active and moving around. You don't want a puppy to get stepped on, so it's easier if you can just take the ones that are already here, place them in their little warm spot where they can be safe. I put layers of absorbent bedding in the whelping box so I can peel them away as we go and as things kind of get messy. I use either hospital pads or just potty pads. You'll need goat's milk to make your mother's pudding, and dental floss to tie off umbilical cords if needed, and whelping collars or other kinds of identification if needed. Usually with the border collies they have distinct markings, so I don't usually use those, but in some breeds you do need that. This is going to be kind of a few different stages of things here, but you need a thermometer. And ideally just stick with the same one. Whatever one that you're going to use, keep using, because they can have some variance between temperature. You can use just something regular and small. I really like this one, the old school like hospital thermometer. So you can take it out, you put on the little cover, nice little box of covers, which is really great. And then you can just pop that off and throw it away. So there's less to clean, less to worry about there, which is always good when you're breeding dogs because there's tons of things to clean already. If you do, just some alcohol pads is great. Vaseline or something similar, just to make the insertion easy. One of these for cleaning out airways, little noses and mouths after they're born. Sometimes they can have some fluid going on. I don't find myself using this super often. If I do hear kind of a watery airway, usually I'll just take the puppy and hold them face down and just keep them that way for a little while, let it sort of drain. You can even set up like a little ramp and kind of prop them up that way just to let things drain out as they need to. Let's see. Some medical type scissors and hemostats if you need to do cords, umbilical cords. My moms are pretty good about doing that themselves, so fortunately I haven't had to do it a lot myself. Quick stop if you do have to cut a cord and it's just bleeding like crazy, even if the mom chews it and it's bleeding like crazy, it's really be a lifesaver there. I like to use something like this for the moms in between puppies, kind of keep their energy up. They really like the taste, and yeah, no harm in it. A few of these are for puppies. So this is from the same brand as a lot of those supplements that I showed you before, the Breeder's Edge. The Nurture Flora is a newborn probiotic supplement. I don't give that right away, but within the first few days, sometimes puppies, their poops are a little inconsistent. This can help. The Nurture Mate is a colostrum supplement. This I do use if a puppy is failing to gain weight. I like to see weight gain within the first sometimes they don't gain weight the first day. By the second day, I want to see a little weight gain from birth weight. If they're not doing that, I will supplement with this, and every time it increases weight by the next time I check. GI Symbiotic. This is good for mom and for puppies. Another digestive kind of supplement. It's probiotic and prebiotic. They have that in a powdered form as well. Calcium, extremely important for the moms between puppies, and you can kind of start upon the first delivery or right before the delivery of the first puppy. This can help prevent eclampsia and milk fever. The body depletes a lot of calcium when it's giving birth, so it's super duper important to have extra calcium. You don't have to use something like this, but ideally an actual calcium supplement, not just like ice cream or cottage cheese or something a little more dense, so you can really get enough in there. Another note on calcium is don't give any extra calcium in the diet during the pregnancy. So I stopped giving yogurt and things like that throughout the pregnancy because sort of in a simplified way to put it is if the body has lots of extra calcium, it's not going to be producing as much of its own. And we want her to be producing all of her own calcium to the max, and then we add more while she's actually giving birth. I also do calcium supplement after the puppies are here. That's a different powdered variety. And then Binabac, yet another digestive supplement. I don't like my puppies or moms to have upset stomachs. It's just not beneficial for anybody. So I have a lot of kind of ammo against those sort of things. This Fading Puppy Support. This I only give if I am supplement feeding a puppy and they're really not thriving. They're just having trouble for whatever reason. This can definitely help. I add it in with my milk replacer, which I can talk about that as well. There's a milk replacer from the same brand here, the Breeder's Edge, that's really good. You can make your own too, a lot of different options there. These guys were recommended to me by my agility trainer and good friend, a fellow breeder. She's been breeding for a very long time and she has saved many puppies with these. So we'll kind of go over those in more depth another time. Baby nail clippers, just for trimming puppy nails, or you can do a little baby Dremel tool. Puppies are pretty sharp nailed, pretty much right away, and it can make things way more comfortable for mom when they're doing their kneading and nursing if they're not super long. And then this is not necessary, but it's kind of fun and cool. You can listen to puppy heartbeats as the pregnancy progresses, and it can be good to make sure there's not any puppies in distress, because you can tell by how fast their heart's going if they are in distress. And then, you know, maybe there's something going on. Okay, this is stuff that I like for record keeping. I do have an app on my phone that's pretty good too, but I still like to keep everything on paper copies just to be sure. So this is the second edition. This is my first edition, which is almost full now. But you can put information about the parents, temperatures that you're taking, when the puppies are due, so on and so forth. And then what's really helpful here is as the puppies are being born, you can jot down everything about that delivery, what time they came, so on and so forth. There's a lot of room for notes, which is really helpful. And then weight tracking for the first few weeks. And as you continue on, you can do vaccines, deworming. There's spots for supplemental feeding, and then also places to track all the owners, which is nice. Definitely helpful if you register your dogs with AKC as well. Second edition's nice, just has a few more details. One notably is they have 14 spaces for puppies now. That's great. And then puppy culture workbook. If you're going to be doing puppy culture exercises, I definitely do recommend the workbook. I like having it handy and just being able to flip open to whatever stage the puppies are at. It's very comprehensive. We're not going to show any stuff to give anything away, but kind of gives you week 1 of the socialization period, 3 to 4 weeks old, a little rundown of the things that you'll need, and then as you flip through, it shows more details of what's going on. Just a good way to kind of keep things organized. I also use this when I'm planning out things in advance. Like once the puppies are here and I'm making that schedule, I refer back to this a lot. And then for supplement feeding, there's a lot of good recipes and different milk replacers. I like this one and have used it with great success. And then when you have to supplement feed, it's good to kind of plan and know what you're gonna do. I've tried bottle feeding, I don't really like it. Puppies don't love it. So instead of bottle feeding, what I'll do is sponge feeding. So you use cosmetic sponges and a syringe, and you kind of saturate the sponge. You can cut it down to fit the shape of the mouth a little better. Saturate it in the milk, have your syringe there, and you just kind of, the puppy will nurse it, generally speaking, if they're feeling robust and strong. In the event that your puppy's sort of fading, I go to the tube feeding method, which I have had to do. It's scary at first, and it's great if you can have your vet sort of show you how, so you're not feeling like you don't know what you're doing. Tube goes all the way down to the stomach of the puppy, so you are guaranteed that they're getting what you're giving them. There's nothing slipping down the lips or anything scary like that. So that's the best way to make sure they're actually getting what you are giving.